Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry, and I'm doing a commercial job here. This is actually a medical office. I do it regularly, about once a year. I do more than one medical facility for the doctor that owns this one. He owns another one, and it's a good job. It's actually in the town north of me, so I have to drive for about 45 minutes, I guess, and then I'm there. It's a sleep clinic. That's why there's beds everywhere, as you'll see. And it's all ready to roll here. I'm not sure how old it is, but it's in pretty darn good shape, actually. We've only got a few areas where it's showing any real issues. A lot of it is actually just wear, really. It's a commercial grade carpet. At the reception area, the carpet is actually lifting a little bit, and this is the area where they do the monitoring. So there's a lot of wear going on here. Yeah, I'm going to be doing this mat here. This, of course, is Suspend, which is my usual pre-treatment. This is not my main cleaner. It's just lowers surface tension. Just sort of accelerates things a little bit. I find it works really well for taking out spots and stains. So anyway, I don't do this room here. I've never done it, actually. And well, actually, I guess these are Murphy beds. They fold down, pull down. I was thinking, where are all the beds? And I realized, oh yeah, those things. See, they're there. Those are kind of cool, actually. But anyway, there's the you can see where the carpet is lifted here. So it's really starting to show the wear and tear here. I don't think it was lifted the last time I was here. I don't remember that anyway. Of course, these are the doctor's offices, and then the reception area here. Now, I'll be cleaning with my Rotary, my 2-speed Rotary, cleaning at 300 RPM normally. This is an excellent machine. I choose the Rotary for this job because of all the offices and maneuvering in and out of there, and the Rotary is just much more nimble for getting into these situations. Look at that. Took the whole jug. So almost 3 gallons. They say these are 2.5, but I can get almost 3 gallons in here if I fill it right to the very top. But anyway, and this is, I'm sure I'm cleaning with. I want to give this a little bit of a shot here. You can see a little bit of extra wear happening right there. I don't expect to use more than what I've got in the jug here. And this is what I'm cleaning with today, which is what I used in my last video, which is actually their other clinic. And I had said this is a health rating of 0, and it used to, but I think they changed the formula, and I just realized that it actually has a health rating of 1. I'm not sure if it's on here or not, or it's on the website, but I think they changed the formula slightly. Health rating of 1 is fine too. When you get above 2, like into 3, that's when you start running into concerns. So if whatever you choose to use to clean carpets with, I think it's a good idea to educate yourself about what you're cleaning with. Look at what the ingredients are so that you know what you're exposing yourself to on a continual basis, and look at the health rating. Because if you're exposing yourself to it for, day in and day out for days, weeks, months, and even years, you want to be sure that it's going to be, in the long run, not going to creating any problems health-wise for you. That's your most important concern of all, because you've only got one set of lungs and one body. And I know of carpet cleaners over the years who have had untimely demise, and it was often, at the time, I remember talking with other carpet cleaners, and there was a lot of thought and expectation that it had to do with some of the chemicals that were being constantly exposed to. So that's one reason why I'm always careful about what I'm cleaning with. I want to have a long and healthy life if I can, as much as I can. Anyway, as you can see, I'm going to be cleaning with the Rubbermaid Rayon pad with the polypropylene green stripes. I think that'll be the best choice for this particular carpet. So let's go ahead and get rolling here. Okay, now I'm at low speed right now. Just making sure I get the, you can see it turning slightly white there, which is about exactly where you want it to be. And there we go. Now, one of the reasons I am choosing the Rotary is because it being so nimble for getting into the offices and everything, and it cleans extremely well, as you will see. And of course I do have OP machines, but this is normally what I prefer to use clean with, certainly for residential. But they work great. The Rotary works great for commercial as well. And one of the nice things about it is you're able to constantly move away from your source of power rather than going back and forth like a lawnmower, assuming you're using a wheels down machine. I certainly wouldn't want to be cleaning commercial with a wheels up Rotary, because then you are it's your arms and back that are pushing and pulling that machine back and forth. And you do that on a commercial job for a few hours, and you're going to get pretty worn out pretty fast. Whereas the Rotary, it's effortless. I just almost just have to think about it, and I move to the left and then move to the right, and then to move forward and back, I just take a step. There's no pressure or stress or strain on my back, because the handle of the machine is actually resting against my leg. I'm not actually it's more the weight is actually weight on my leg more than anything. So it's actually a very, very easy machine to work with. When you understand how to use it, it's just so simple. Did I go back here? I did. Yeah. Anyway. And I just really like using the Rotary. I find it just an enjoyable machine to use, and it works well. There's nothing to be. I don't really think there's any much to be gained by using the OP. Although I have, well, I actually have 4 of them. but I find myself using the Rotary more and more. I think more because I actually like it. And of course, I am shower feeding, which means that I'm actually intermittently applying the solution with the valve right there. So you're not holding the valve on. All I'm needing to do is just keep that pad damp, slightly damp, not soaking wet, not dripping wet. In fact, the top of the pad never gets wet. I'll show you that when I get near the end if I remember. Because the way the shower feed is working is it's actually dropping the solution onto the pad driver, and the slots that feed it onto the pad are on the outer, almost the outer edge of the pad driver. So the only part of the top that gets wet or damp is the top edge. In other words, around the perimeter, and that's it. Of course, this methodology, a few years ago I came up with an acronym which I thought was a better description for it, which is the SETT acronym, which basically stands for Soil Extraction Transfer Technology. And I felt that it was a better way to word what we do. Rather than just simply saying bonnet cleaning, that doesn't describe what we're actually doing, whereas SETT is describing what we're doing. And there's different tools, attachments as it were, that you can put on your machine. So you're not necessarily using, these are sold and called bonnets, but there's very many different types of pads that we can use, and even brushes. So you're using soil extraction transfer technology, which would be a machine that is going to be using pads to extract the soil out of the carpet, but you may not always be using, if you're cleaning with a SETT method, you're not necessarily always using a bonnet. You might be using a fiber pad, or you might be using a brush. You're going to be using different attachments. There's different types of pads that you might use, microfiber, synthetic blends, cotton, there's just so many choices. So just simply calling it bonnet cleaning, which has its roots in Genesis, using a pretty primitive way of doing it way back at the beginning. We've gone way beyond that, so now it's time to, I thought that it was time to kind of rethink what we're doing, and how do I word it, just give it a more of a credible sounding phrasing, I guess. And of course, I've created the SETT logo, and I've offered it free to anybody, any independent operator who, almost any independent operator who asks, I will give a copy to, and you can use it. And I think and of course it actually applies not just to carpet cleaning, but it applies to, you can use a SETT method for furniture, and I do that all the time. Not my most common way of cleaning, but I have a pad type system that I use for furniture sometimes, and you can use either a rotary or an orbital again, because the set method applies not just to rotaries but also to orbitals. Or you can use a set method for cleaning hard floors, wood floors, vinyl, even tile floors for that matter. So it's actually just I think it's time that we reinvent, not really reinvent the wheel, but just move away from the stigma that has been long associated with chronic cleaning, because in the beginning it was pretty Mickey Mouse. Taking an old mop and putting it into a bucket, squeezing out the excess and throwing it on the carpet and under your rotary, and then running across the carpet like that. It's gone so far beyond that now with our, not just the cleaning products, which have drastically improved, but also the many different choices we now have for pads, and the techniques that we are discovering, that the skill that now is involved in using these machines, because there is a skill. It's not just simply spray the carpet and move the machine back and forth as quick as you can and call it carpet cleaning. No, there's thinking going on here, and a skill to handling the machine, whether you're using a rotary or an Oxy. But that's one of the things I've mentioned before that I really like about using the rotary, is that I think the rotary does require a little more thinking while you're doing it. I mean, I'm actually really thinking about what's happening on the carpet even as I'm doing this. Kind of why I keep stopping talking to this, walking and chewing gum at the same time, but I'm thinking about what I'm seeing on the carpet all the time. And it's not simply just move the machine over the carpet and it's done. It's watch what's happening to the carpet while I'm moving the machine over the carpet, and be constantly assessing what I'm seeing and adjusting what I'm doing with my hand here in my application of the solution. But also I'm constantly thinking about where the machine is moving and what I'm seeing happening on the carpet. And it's a skill. And if you're new to using a rotary machine, as the months go by, you'll understand what I'm saying about that. You'll realize that, well, I started using the rotary 6 months ago, and I thought I knew what I was doing, but now, 6 months down the road, I realize that there's a lot more to this than just simply moving this machine across the carpet. You really do have to think about what you're doing in order to get the results, and the key is getting a really even appearance on the carpet, and also being able to look at the carpet and understand what the carpet should look like when you're done, and being able to read the carpet as you're cleaning. So I'll move these chairs back. So, I've been talking about the rotary all along with my channel, and I'm actually more convinced now that it's a better choice than I was in the beginning. But I'm not saying that it's not. I'm not saying it's the only choice. Because if you want to do low moisture carpet cleaning, you do have a number of choices. Not just pad machines too. But one thing I should say is that a machine that isn't actually doing any transfer of soil out of the carpet would not be considered a set method. For example, the Cymex is not a set method machine. It's an encapsulating machine pure and simple. Whereas this machine, or an OP machine, can both be an encapsulating machine, or it can be a set machine. Because if you're, depending on what you're using for an attachment, because the Simex machine, of course, it doesn't remove anything from the carpet, so that's a pure encapsulating machine. And if you just use the fiber pad on a Rotary machine, I know there's something over here I want to pick up. Oh, it's a plastic thing. If you're using a machine with a pad on it, then it's transferring the soil up and out. But if there's no pad on the machine, I could use this machine just with a fiber pad or a brush and put an encapsulating cleaner in it, and then I'm just encapsulating the carpet, which means that I would be leaving the soil behind to be vacuumed up by the, well, usually the customer themselves or janitorial staff if you're doing a commercial job. Whereas with this, I'm both pad capping and extracting at the same time, because I'm using an encapsulating cleaner, but I'm not relying on the encapsulator alone to remove the soil from the carpet. I'm actually relying a lot on the pad to draw up and remove soil from the carpet fiber. I'm actually not a fan of using encapsulating on its own. I remember years ago, the first time I saw a Simex machine, which I think was the first one imported into Canada, I knew the guy that actually brought the Simexes to our attention, Ed York. But anyway, when I put my hands on it and I ran it across the carpet and watched somebody else using it, and I thought, okay, I get what it does, but where's the dirt? and I just really didn't like the idea of relying on the customer after the fact to extract the soil that I just supposedly cleaned from the carpet, but it just was pushed into the carpet. I don't like that idea. I know lots of guys use it, and obviously it's done well for a lot of guys, but it's not mine. I just don't go for that myself. But anyway, yeah, we're moving along here pretty smartly. We're going to take a look at this pad. I do want to go over this spot again. Actually, the cleaning lady was actually here, and she was telling me that they actually put a plastic protector on here. So I guess this normally is underneath a plastic protector, which is kind of weird that it looks this way. Maybe they just did that recently. Okay, let's go over here and we'll take a look and see how we're doing. Ooh, that's pretty soiled. And by the way, notice that there's no soiling in the middle, and it's because, well, there's a hole in the middle. So basically from about here to here, there's no weight, no pressure onto the carpet. But you can see that this is cleaning very evenly, and that's one of the interesting things about this, what an even cleaning we're getting on this. So yeah, that's interesting. So it's looking pretty soiled there. So we'll switch to another pad and we'll continue on. What I'll do is when I come back and to finish this job, I'm going to I'll take another look at this. And one more thing I wanted to mention, by the way. I expect to use about $5 worth of product to clean this job. I've got a, you saw me put that full jug. I'm running at the Revive at 4 ounces per gallon. And so it's about 12 or so ounces. Oh, there's something in here. There's about 12 or so ounces in the in that full jug. Oh, there's a fish hook in here. What do you know? Ooh, not good. Anyway, yeah. So, and this job is going to take me, I expect, around about 2 hours, and it's just under $1,000. So, the actual cost of cleaning with these professional grade products, Bonnet Pro products, and there's other suppliers like the End Cap Store or Vacaway or Release Excellent Supply. The actual cost of cleaning the job for the product use is very, very minimal. In fact, for residential work, typically I use 2 gallons or less for most of my residential jobs. So, yeah, and it takes me normally about 2 hours or less to do a job. So the actual, and that would be for a residential job. Then when I'm using 2 gallons or less, then you can run Nanomaxes, which is what I usually clean with, at 1 ounce per gallon. 1 ounce per gallon. But I normally run at 2 ounces per gallon. So if I'm running 2 ounces per gallon, I use 2 gallons in an average job, then that's 4 ounces. So if you go on their website, by the way, take a look at what the price of these products are. I think a gallon of the Revive is around $42, I think. I can't remember what the Nanomax is, but it's not very much. There you go. What do you know? A hook, a fish hook. Amazing. It's amazing that I put my hand on there. I felt it immediately. But that can happen. You know, you can pick something up onto the pad, and that can be a problem. I can find a garbage can. Oh, there's one. Okay. Put it in there. Alrighty. Okay, so I will continue on and do this job, and it goes pretty quick, really. So I'll let you go. So thanks for watching, and have a good day.